Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about things that could make you wealthy. And one of the top things that I didn't understand myself until the last few years that I think everybody should know about is compound interest. And I've run through some numbers and I have an easy way to kind of explain how compounding interest works. Right. So, first off, how it works is let's say you invest $1,000 and then you only add $100 to that every month. And after a year, you'll have $2,280. You only made $80 in interest off that, right? But let's say you did that same principle for 10 years. So you continue that for 9 more years. You just put $100 in it every month. You would have $19,542.80. Now, 13,000 of that is what you put in, but what you made off interest is $6,542.80. That's the compounding part, right? The more you put in, the more you get back, right? And this is based off all these numbers are based off uh a guesstimated 8% return. Okay. Now, I just want to take it one step further, right? And so let's say you put in, let's just do 400 a month, right? Let's say you're able to save a little bit more, right? You do 400 a month with that initial $1,000 investment, right? For 30 years, okay? Then you would have $553,822.07. Out of that, you only put in 145,000, but you made 408 822 $408,822.07 is what you made in interest. So more than double what you put in was made back because it compounds over time, right? That's why it's compounding interest. And that's the great thing. And I know, like, I think what I want to teach to some people out there is like, well, what's the point, right? I can only set aside $100 a month, 150 a month, 250, whatever it may be, right? It seems pointless, but the sooner you start, the more beneficial it'll be down the road because it will compound and it'll build and build and build, right? So that's the great thing about it. Okay. And I also want to put this out there, you know, not everyone cares about retirement, right? And I get that. But if you don't care about retirement, this can still help your children if you get older, if you're planning on having children or want to have children. This can help you out as you get older, right? You can have a safety net of something to fall back on. Or let's say when you're, 40, 50 years old, you just want to take a bunch of trips, right? You just want to do whatever you want, or you want to renovate your home or buy a home or something, right? This is all great things that you can do because it's your money. You do what you want with it. But it's just a great tool that can help you build and help you in the future. This doesn't hurt you in any way. This only helps you, right? And kind of what ties into this, I have some common traps or let's say things that will hinder you from being able to put money aside like this, right? And some things I want to go over. I think, of course, one of the biggest ones that everyone's going to talk about is cars, right? People want to buy the newest, the flashiest. They want to, drive something that people may look at it and go, wow, look at that, right? But nobody really cares, right? Only you care what you drive. And I'm not saying you have to drive the worst car out there, but let me ask you this. In that scenario where you built up $500,000 in 30 years, right? That was off $400 a month. Would you rather drive an older car to be able to do those things and save that money for whatever you want to use it for? Or would you rather drive a cool car now, but you're sacrificing for your future? So, do you want to sacrifice your future or do you want to sacrifice a little bit now for your future? Yeah, that's what I want to ask. And some other things I would think that, of course, if you're out there, you probably heard this from other places, but buying trendy clothes or going out all the time, right? And I get it. Sometimes you need new clothes, right? But if you're buying clothes every week or even every month, really, unless you're just really destroying your clothes, you don't really need to, right? You're probably buying something because it either looks cool or you liked it, and that's fine sometimes, right? If that's in your budget. But once again, do you want to sacrifice a little bit now for your future or sacrifice your future for now? Another thing is, like I said, eating out, right? Going out all the time. And I'm not talking about the occasional, okay, hey, look, it's been a long day, let's stop and get food, or the occasional once a month or something out with family. I'm talking about you go out with your family, right? Let's say there's 10 of y'all and you want to help out and you take the whole bill. I'm not saying everybody does this, but some people do this. And it's ended up being $300-400. And it feels good though, right? It feels good because you're doing it not just for yourself, for your family and all that. It feels great. It always feels good to be generous, but in this instance, it's hurting you, right? Unless you're just like a millionaire and you can afford it. Uh, for most people, that's going to hurt your wallet, right? And the other thing on top of that too is just not even that scenario. Let's just say you eat out too often. Let's say you eat out 3 times a week, right? Or even like go out to a restaurant once a week. We go out to a restaurant maybe once every other month, maybe. Sometimes it's once every 3 or 4 months because it's just too expensive, right? The markup on everything is too expensive. The cost of everything is too expensive. It's just not worth it anymore. You can cook better meals at home and save a ton of money now. The other thing that kind of feeds into the cars is most people honestly aren't paying attention to you. They don't care, right? They just don't. It feels like in society, obviously you want to take care of yourself, right? You don't want to like walk around all the time in pajamas or something, right? But it just feels like there's too much emphasis on caring about what other people think. You should definitely be the person you want to be and dress how you want to dress, but I'm just saying you don't need to put on this kind of mask of what you want people to think, right? Like, oh, I buy the high fashion clothes, I drive the super cool car, the Cadillac, the Porsche, whatever, right? You don't, you just don't need to worry about that. And the more you worry about that, the deeper you're going to get in that hole of trying to make a mask and cover up and just keep on consuming and buying, right? When you stop worrying about what other people think, I guarantee you're going to feel better and save more money, right? And I just want to leave y'all off with my final tidbit of, like I said near the start of the video, right? Do you want to sacrifice now for your future or sacrifice your future for now? And I just want you to think, especially for me as I'm getting older, right? I think more about my family and stuff, but it all depends, right? Everybody's different. Is it, do you want to be able to have something? So let's say you hate your job, right? And you have that financial backing and over time that you built, and now you can leave, right? You can leave a job you hate, or you can go pursue something, or you can go travel for a couple of months just because you've sacrificed and you've saved, right? Or maybe you want to set a goal and retire early, or maybe you want to buy that super cool car, but instead of financing it and paying a crazy interest rate, you want to pay cash, right? So, whatever it is, you need to have your goals and your priorities in line, but figure out what it is you want to do with that money and just start saving. It's only going to make you better in the future and just help your future self out. Everybody, have a good day. Thanks.